I would tell international students is that, or something that I always tell people who come to me via appointments is, if you are 30 years and above, it will be very difficult, like very, very difficult for you to get au pair jobs in Sweden, Germany, Denmark, or even the UK. Like au pair jobs. If you do not know what an au pair job is, please make sure you go and read more about au pair jobs and how to open profiles to start looking for au pair jobs. I hope you understand. In the coming months, I'm equally going to be talking about how you can get these jobs. Today's video, guys, is going to basically be on requirements to study in Austria in 2024. As you guys all know, admissions are open in Austria already, and some schools are open, others are not. Also remember that Austria is one of the countries in the European Union and also a member of the Schengen zone. Schools in Austria are very affordable, like very cheap, not affordable, cheap. Like literally you can pay 363 euros in Austria to study per semester. In other schools, you can equally pay 720 euros, while in others, you can be charged 1,400 euros. These are state schools I'm talking about. But meanwhile, in maybe other schools like private universities in Austria, you are equally going to pay more than 4,000 euros. Some schools even charge 5,000 euros in order for you to study. So you have to be very strategic and look into this program. Remember, if you are moving to Austria, you are going to be applying for what is called a residence permit. If you are 18 to 24 years old, or if you are 18 to 24, let me put it this way, you have a particular amount of proof of funds. If you are greater than 24 years or more than 24 or above 24, your own amount is different. If you want to move with your family to Austria, like just you and your wife, your own amount for proof of funds is different. If you want to add your children, the proof of funds is different. So please make sure you watch the latest video I'm going to be dropping about proof of funds. You might have watched it. It may drop after this one. But just know the videos are going to come in series. Now, like I said, some schools are open already. And remember, there are two intakes in Austria, the spring intake and the winter intake, okay? So I'm going to drop a video about a school which is equally open. Remember, Austria is a landlocked country, which means that you can use a car, a train, or maybe the road by moving to neighboring countries like Germany and Poland and the rest. So you should note this. Austria has one of the best transportation system, like their roads are well developed. I think Austria should be the third in Europe of the best roads or the best quality so far. All right, their transport system, that's what I mean by roads. I hope you understand. All right, I'm trying to use, my English may not be powerful, but we are just trying. Now, also understand that schools in Austria would ask you for legalized documents, and it depends also on the institution. Some may say that you should apply when coming to Austria before you bring the legalized documents to them, and in this case you are going to now legalize them and apply just for your visa. Others will say that we need the documents in order to give you the admissions. Others will say that we need the legalized copies in order to even look at your documents before giving you admissions. So you need to put all of this into consideration, and remember, verification and authentication is very important. Now, the documents that you need for bachelor's degree programs, but before I talk about this, please remember that you can study a bachelor's program in Austria in English language, and you can also study a master's program in English language. It just depends on you. And most bachelor's programs are taught in the German language, and that is to tell you that Germany and Austria, they have something in common. But in Germany, people speak English. In Austria, people speak English. So do not be scared that, okay, what if I go in there? What happens after I finish my studies? What happens after I'm trying to apply for my residence permit? Not blink. This is how it is. If you are looking for programs, or if you want to apply for bachelor's, you need to supply your WAEC certificate, your birth certificate, and of course your English proficiency. Now, your WAEC is your high school documents. That is for Nigerians, maybe for Ghanaians, maybe for Sierra Leoneans, or people from that. Every country has its own particular document. In as much as it is a high school document, you are good to go. Then those from Cameroon and other nationalities who write the O levels and A levels, that is what you need to supply. Others will be writing WASI too. Remember, I said not everybody from every country has the same document. So depending on which one, submit your birth certificate and alongside your English proficiency. If you studied in a school where English is more recognized, why not? You get a document from the school and then you supply your application, or you submit your application using the English proficiency document. It's good like that, but advise you to go get maybe the IELTS if you can get it. Some people run away from it. I don't know why. Some people complain, of course. Others complain that it's hard, but if you can get it because it is advantage you. Now, if you are applying for MSc programs, then you will also need those high school documents alongside your bachelor's degree certificate. And this must be a final certificate. For those that have attestation of completion of studies, it's still acceptable. Okay, you can still use it. There is no problem about that. Then those that have if you are going for masters, you need, not like those that have, you need to submit your bachelor's degrees transcript. Remember, this transcript should be a full transcript, a transcript that has a CGPA well noted. Every course that you did during your bachelor's days have to be very visible and clear. All right, you equally need, like I said, your baccalaureate. Baccalaureate is now the French document. For those writing the baccalaureate exam, most francophones, they have it. But if you have this and you're applying to a school in Austria, I will advise you to try to see if you can maybe translate those documents. And when you translate during the submission process or uploading documents section, you should try to attach the French copy and the English copy, the translated and the original. You understand? Don't drop one and upload the other. It doesn't work that way. So you have to put this into consideration. Then you also need your birth certificate if you're applying for masters as well. You equally need what is called English language proficiency. You already know how to go about the proficiency because I explained before. Then also there is another document called eligibility letter. Sometimes most Nigerians, they need this particular document. Meanwhile, not everybody needs it, but if you need it, I will advise you to add it. If any document that comes from your education or your institution or from your university, your formal school, make sure you add it. Those who are married, you can equally add your marriage certificate to the application to make it very solid. But I'm not saying that you should go and marry. I didn't say that if you are not married, your application cannot be processed. So please make sure you listen to me properly. Then if you have maybe an internship letter or anything like voluntary activities, you can equally add it to your application. It is going to be very useful. Now let's take a look at some schools in Austria you can apply to. A school like the University of Economics and Business, this particular school I know already, they have English programs in English, at bachelor's. I think it's just one program anyways. I think there is just one program in this particular university. It's called Economics and Business. So that program is in English language, and they usually take around maybe just maximum 150 students, not even up to 250. But it depends too also on them, and every time, or let me say during the application process, they are going to bring a communique to put the application. Usually starts around February till like May ending. So that school has English program. Then there are other schools, let me say Technical University of Vienna also have English programs. The University of Innsbruck also have English programs. The University of Vienna also have English programs. Technical University of Vienna also have English programs. The University of Salzburg also have English. In fact, all the state universities or the government universities in Austria, almost all of them, they have English programs. But now you are the one to decide which one. Remember also that most programs in Austria would ask you to submit extra documents. Like there are some programs you cannot use just your WAEC certificate to apply for. Then take note of those programs that will ask you for an exam. There are some programs you have to sit for an exam. There are some programs that you are going to do what is called an assessment, okay, before you can go into those programs. So please take a look at all of these, and remember that until you have an admissions letter before you can then start your visa application. This is very important because a lot of people always come to me. They are like, Milton, how do I start the process? Now, if you are seeing my face for the very first time, to start the process, you need to go to Google, search universities in Austria that study this. That is how you do the search. Then when universities pop up, you now take their links or their names, you go to a different search engine, you put it there and you add admissions. From there now, you are going to know the programs that are open. You now go to program requirements, you check them. You now go to tuition fee, you check it. You now go to admission requirements, you check it. You go to country specific requirements, you check it. And then you check to see if what are the English requirements, because most of them will not accept the fact that you studied in English. Some will specifically state that if you do not submit IELTS or maybe another document which is an English recognized certificate, you may not get an admission. So please put all of this into consideration. It is very, very important. That is why I'm here to explain this to you, and I will be dropping more videos on the channel, so please do not forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much. Till we meet again in another episode. Bye bye.